Now coming to immunoglobulin IgA. This actually exists as a monomer in circulation and a dimer with a J or joining chain when secreted. Each secretory IgA molecule consists of two H2L2 units plus one molecule each of a J chain and a secretory component. Now there are two IgA subclasses, IgA1 and IgA2. They are differentiated by the differences in the disulfide bonds in the hinge region. The molecular weight of IgA is approximately 400,000 Daltons due to the addition of the secretory component. So IgA molecules are very high in carbohydrates and do not bind a complement. The secretory component that we were talking about is actually a polypeptide that is synthesized by the epithelial cells in the gastrointestinal tract. For instance, by Peyer's patches, which are organized lymphoid follicles in the mucous membranes that line the small intestine, and then they cross the epithelial cells via transcytosis. You can actually check out our short video on transcytosis in the link down below. In the instance of IgA, it actually involves a certain portion of the membrane receptor that binds IgA on the extraluminal side of the epithelial cell. The receptor then undergoes cleavage, and the portion that was bound to the IgA is then released along with the immunoglobulin. So what are the functions of IgA? Well, IgA is the main immunoglobulin in secretions, such as colostrum, which is the first form of milk produced by the mammary glands. They may also be found in saliva, tears, and secretions of the respiratory, intestinal, and genital tract. It prevents the attachment of microorganisms, for example, bacteria and viruses, to the mucous membranes, and therefore provides protection against gut infections. The most vital being Giardia lamblia. It also protects IgA itself from being degraded in the intestinal tract. So when talking about protection, IgA confers protection against viruses that enter through the respiratory and gastrointestinal mucosa. And IgM and IgG protect against viruses that enter or are spread through the blood. Well, Giardia lamblia, which was mentioned as a vital organism that IgA helps us protect against, is a protozoal infection that causes bloating, flatulence, foul-smelling, non-bloody fatty diarrhea, which is often seen in campers or hikers. A bacterial virulence factor that deserves a credible mention is IgA protease. It is the enzyme that cleaves IgA and allows the bacteria to adhere and colonize the mucous membranes. This is usually secreted by Streptococcus pneumonia and Haemophilus influenza type B, and also Neisseria. Now there's a condition in which there's a deficiency of this IgA, which is selective IgA deficiency, in which there's a failure of heavy chain gene switching, and it results in the recurrent infections, especially of the sinuses and lungs, that are caused by these kind of pyogenic bacteria that we keep talking about. However, with time, the infections become less and less frequent. Well, this is likely because their IgG and IgM levels confer protection that compensates for the loss of IgA. But keep in mind that the patients with a deficiency of IgA should not be treated with gamma globulin preparations, because the IgA in the infusion can be immunogenic to the patients, which means they can form antibodies against the foreign IgA. Now, patients with selective IgM deficiency or deficiency of one or more of the IgG subclasses also have recurrent sinopulmonary infections caused by pyogenic bacteria. However, deficiencies of these classes are much less common. IgA neuropathy is a well-known disease, and it is one of the most common types of glomerulonephritis. It is characterized primarily by hematuria, but proteinuria and the progression to the end-stage renal disease can also occur. The glomeruli are lined with immune complexes containing IgA, and the course of the disease varies widely from person to person. Some are asymptomatic, while others progress rapidly to kidney failure. Now, the symptoms are temporarily related to viral infections, especially pharyngitis, but no specific virus has been identified. No treatment regimen is clearly effective, although the use of fish oil has shown variable results.